I appeal to the Sikh leaders to throw in their weight for maintenance of peace in the interest of millions of men, women, and children, many of whom have been trekking their way from West Pakistan for 3 weeks now and are braving the elements, the worst physical conditions possible in the ultimate hope of living among their own thick kin and kith and kin. It behoves them in the larger interests of India, in the general and East Punjab in particular, so as to organize themselves as to assure safe passage to Muslim refugees traveling whether on foot or by trains or in trucks. I feel it is a disgrace to all that military force should be used to compel them to give transit facility. Instead, I think it is in keeping with our dignity, reputation for valor, and self-interest that you should raise a volunteer force which will come forward and guarantee complete immunity from attack to these refugees. All of you know how dear the Sikhs are to me, and I have nothing but the good of the community at heart. I feel it is in the best interests of your community and its future prosperity in East Punjab that the sooner we get our refugees, the better. It is only then that you can create East Punjab, the garden which you created in the West Punjab by your efforts, and show to the world that the flower of manhood inhabits this sacred land. I appeal to you to break the vicious circle of attacks and retaliation, at least for a week, and then we'll see if there is any satisfactory response. If you are disappointed, the whole world would know whom to hold irrevocably guilty. I remember how in this very same city of Amritsar I held discussions a few years ago for raising a suitable memorial to the martyrs of Jallianwala Bagh, and how at Lahore for the first time we all, Hindus, Sikhs, Muslims, took the pledge of winning complete independence. In the blood bath of Jallianwala Bagh had mixed the blood of Hindus, Sikhs, and Muslims. I am grieved to think that these things have come to such a pass that no Muslim can go about in Amritsar, no Hindu or Sikh can even think of living in Lahore. The erection of a memorial to Jallianwala Bagh martyrs has become a painful memory, and the hard-to-won freedom has been followed by such unspeakable tragedies. This is a situation which has brought dishonor and disgrace to all of us and India, which looked forward to raising her stature in the eyes of the world after attainment of independence, has now to hang her head in shame. The butchery of the innocent and defenseless men, women, and children does not behove brave men. It is the war of the jungle and hallmark of inhumanity and barbarity. There will be occasions and opportunities for all of you to show your zest for fight. One must seek for it's one's ground that suitable time. It is now time not to be foolhardy or desperate, but time to reflect calmly on your course of action. We have won our freedom to make our country great and prosperous, not to destroy what little has been vouchsafed to us by our alien rulers. If we are not careful, we shall lose even our long cherished freedom, which we have secured after such suffering and so many struggles. You must remember that the lives of millions are at stake. They cannot be gambled away to enable us to satisfy any spirit of vengeance or retaliation. It is essential that you must maintain peace and break the vicious circle of attack and retaliation and the counter retaliation and see to it that the refugees have safe transit. Any obstacle in the way of refugee movement will only worsen the plight of our refugees who are fighting the elements, hunger, disease, maltreatment, to come to a land where they hope to find peace, shelter, and opportunities to lead a peaceful and civilized existence. We should do nothing to shatter this hope, which is probably the only thing that is sustaining them. I am quite certain that India's interest lies in getting all her men and women across the border and sending out all the Muslims from East Punjab. We can then settle down to the tremendous task of repairing the damage done to make this land by our labors the same fruitful garden as our refugees have left behind. I deprecate the demand for police and military aid which people are putting forward. Such a demand may be befit the weak, but it doesn't suit the brave and the able-bodied men of Punjab. They should organize themselves on the right lines. The safety and defense of the frontiers are the concerns of the government, but at the same time, people should organize themselves. The government will give them arms and equipments if they know how to use them on the right lines. I have come to you with a specific appeal, and that is to pledge the safety of Muslim refugees crossing the city. It is hardly creditable to us that we do not realize in what good lies our good. Muslims evacuees are going under agreed arrangement of exchange of population. They should really need no protection, but should you want, they should be protected by you and they should be allowed to go in peace. Bitterness fed by years of propaganda of hate has gone so deep to allow any Muslim to remain in East Punjab and any Hindu or Sikh to live in West Punjab. It is therefore in the interest of everyone that this exchange should be effected peacefully and smoothly. Any obstacle or hindrances will only worsen the plight of our refugees who are already performing prodigious feats of valor and endurance. It doesn't become a brave people to perpetrate deeds of brutality on the defenseless men, women, and children. This is not dictated by any code of chivalry or honor. If others cast chivalry and honor to the winds, it does not justify us in debasing ourselves. If we have to fight, we must fight clean, Such a fight must await appropriate time and conditions, and you must be wary of choosing your ground. To fight against the refugees is no fight at all. No laws, humanity, or war among honorable people may permit the murder of people who have sought shelter and protection. Such misdeeds, on the other hand, can be left to be tackled at a more opportune time. I appeal to you all to act with prudence and foresight. You should allow free and unmolested passage to the Muslim refugees. Let there be truce for 3 months in which both sides can exchange their refugees. This sort of truce is permitted even by the law of war. Let us take the initiative in breaking the vicious circle of attacks and counterattacks. They do good to nobody. They can only do a great deal of harm to us. If you do not have faith in the Pakistan government or its people, you can hold your handle, hold your hands for a week and see what happens. If they do not observe the truth in the right spirit, the world will know who the breakers are of laws and humanities. We shall have every jurisdiction for holding them to account. Make way for refugees with your own force of volunteers and let them deliver the refugees safely at the frontier. Let the whole world see that we mean well and we mean business, and it is they who have evil intentions and evil designs.